A royal reckoning. The Windsors face diversity. The British monarchy, an institution steeped in centuries of tradition, found itself at a crossroads. For generations, the House of Windsor had been a symbol of continuity and stability, a bastion of British heritage and culture. Yet, as the world evolved, the monarchy faced increasing scrutiny and pressure to adapt to the changing times. The world was changing, and the House of Windsor seemed woefully out of step. The rise of social media and the 24-hour news cycle meant that every royal misstep was magnified and broadcast to a global audience. The once unassailable institution now found itself vulnerable to public opinion and criticism. Calls for greater diversity and inclusion within the palace walls grew louder, fueled by a series of events that shook the very foundation of the monarchy. The public demanded a royal family that reflected the diversity of modern Britain, a family that was more inclusive and representative of the people it served. The world watched, captivated by the drama unfolding within this ancient institution. The Windsors, once seen as untouchable, were now at the center of a very public debate about race, privilege, and the future of the monarchy. The stakes were high, and the eyes of the world were upon them. At the heart of this reckoning was the bombshell interview given by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to Oprah Winfrey. In a candid and emotional conversation, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry laid bare their struggles within the royal family, revealing the deep-seated issues that had driven them to step back from their royal duties. Their explosive revelations about the racism Meghan Markle faced within the royal family sent shockwaves around the globe. The interview was a turning point, forcing the monarchy to confront its own shortcomings and sparking a wider conversation about race and privilege in Britain. Suddenly, the Windsors' diversity problem was no longer a matter of whispers and speculation, but a very public and uncomfortable truth. The royal family was at a crossroads, and the path they chose would determine their future in a rapidly changing world. The question remained, could the Windsors adapt and evolve, or would they be left behind by the tides of history? Meghan's truth bomb, igniting a global conversation. Meghan's courage in speaking out ignited a global conversation about race and privilege, even within the seemingly impenetrable walls of Buckingham Palace. Her shocking claims of racist remarks and the lack of support from the institution she had married into cast a long shadow over the royal family. The world listened intently as Meghan bravely shared her truth. Her pain was palpable, her disappointment evident. The interview became a defining moment, forcing the monarchy to confront its own uncomfortable realities. A promise delayed, the missing diversity czar. In the immediate aftermath of the Oprah interview, the palace issued a carefully worded statement, expressing concern and promising to do better. One of the concrete steps announced was the appointment of a diversity czar, an individual tasked with leading the monarchy's efforts to become more inclusive and representative of modern British society. However, months turned into years, and the promised appointment never materialized. The position remained vacant, raising questions about the sincerity of the royal family's commitment to change. The delay fueled skepticism and accusations of empty promises. A sea of white faces, the Platinum Jubilee misstep. The lack of visible progress on diversity was glaringly evident during the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. The images of the royal family gathered on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, a sea of predominantly white faces, spoke volumes. The optics were disastrous, undermining any claims of progress and reinforcing the perception that the monarchy was out of touch with the realities of a multicultural Britain. The Jubilee, meant to be a celebration of the Queen's reign, instead became a stark reminder of the work that still needed to be done. Section 5. Was Omaghomi, the silent force for change. What the public didn't know was that behind the scenes, a young black woman had been quietly working to bring about change within the royal household. Was Omaghomi, a former director of the anti-racism organization Common Purpose, had been brought in as a diversity consultant shortly after the Oprah interview. Omaghomi's appointment was never officially announced, and her role remained largely unknown outside the palace walls. For 2 years, she worked diligently, engaging with staff, conducting diversity training, and advising on policy changes. Section 6. A secret weapon. Why was Omaghomi hidden? The decision to keep Omaghomi's role under wraps raises intriguing questions. Why would the palace choose to conceal the involvement of such a key figure in their efforts to modernize and address pressing issues? Was it a strategic move to avoid further scrutiny while the palace navigated the fallout from the Sussex interview? The timing certainly suggests a calculated effort to manage public perception and media narratives. Or was there a reluctance to acknowledge the need for external help in addressing the monarchy's diversity problem? Admitting the necessity for outside expertise might have been seen as a sign of weakness or failure within the institution. Whatever the reason, the secrecy surrounding Omaghomi's work only fueled suspicions that the royal family was not fully committed to transparency and accountability. This lack of openness has led to a growing mistrust among the public and critics alike. It also meant that Omaghomi was unable to publicly champion her efforts or build broader support for her work. Her contributions, though significant, remained in the shadows, limiting their impact and the potential for positive change within the monarchy. The decision to keep her hidden raises broader questions about the monarchy's approach to reform and modernization. Is the institution truly willing to embrace change, or is it more concerned with maintaining a facade of tradition and stability? As the world watches, the royal family's actions will continue to be scrutinized. Transparency and genuine efforts towards inclusivity are essential for the monarchy to remain relevant and respected in the modern era. Section 7. Rewriting History, the Palace's Narrative Control. In June 2023, news broke that Omaghomi had quietly resigned from her role. The timing, just weeks after King Charles III's coronation, raised eyebrows. Some speculated that Omaghomi's departure was a sign that the new monarch was less committed to diversity than he had previously indicated. The palace, however, insisted that Omaghomi's departure was planned and that she had made significant progress during her tenure. This narrative, however, felt disingenuous to some, particularly given the lack of tangible evidence of change within the royal household. Section 8. Beyond Tokenism, the Need for Real Change. Omaghomi's departure highlighted the limitations of a piecemeal approach to diversity. Hiring a consultant, even a highly skilled one, cannot fundamentally change an institution overnight. Real change requires a sustained commitment from the top down, a willingness to dismantle entrenched systems of privilege and power. The monarchy's diversity problem is not simply a matter of optics or public relations. It is a reflection of a deeper societal issue, one that requires a fundamental shift in mindset and a genuine commitment to creating a more equitable and inclusive future for all. Section 9. Transparency and Trust, the Path Forward. Moving forward, the monarchy must embrace transparency and accountability if it wants to rebuild trust with the public. This is not just about public appearances, but about genuine, meaningful change that resonates with the people. This means being open about the challenges it faces, the steps it is taking to address them, and the progress it is making. Regular updates and honest communication can bridge the gap between the monarchy and the public, fostering a sense of shared journey and mutual respect. It also means being willing to listen to and learn from the experiences of those who have been marginalized and excluded. Engaging with diverse communities and understanding their unique perspectives can help the monarchy evolve and stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. The appointment of a diversity czar, this time publicly and with a clear mandate for change, would be a positive step. This role should not be symbolic, but should carry real weight and influence within the royal structure. However, it is crucial that this individual is given the authority and resources to make a real difference, and that their work is supported at all levels of the royal household. This support must be unwavering, ensuring that the initiatives they champion are implemented effectively and sustainably. By taking these steps, the monarchy can demonstrate its commitment to progress and inclusivity. It can show that it is not just a relic of the past, but a dynamic institution capable of growth and adaptation. This journey towards transparency and trust is not just about the monarchy's survival, but about its ability to thrive and lead in the modern era. Section 10. The Future of the Monarchy, Embracing a Diverse Britain. The future of the monarchy depends on its ability to evolve and reflect the changing face of Britain. In a society that is becoming increasingly diverse, the royal family must demonstrate that it is relevant and representative of all its subjects. This means embracing diversity not as a threat, but as a strength, It means celebrating the richness and vibrancy that different cultures, backgrounds, and perspectives bring to British society. Section 11. A legacy redefined, Charles's opportunity. King Charles III has a unique opportunity to redefine the monarchy for the 21st century. He can choose to be a force for unity and progress, a monarch who champions equality and inclusion for all. The world is watching. Will the House of Windsor rise to the challenge, or will it remain tethered to the past? The answer to this question will determine the future of the monarchy for generations to come.